Hey, you're tuning in with Thom. I don't know if I should call myself the fake music observer or just the YouTuber. Listen, Real Music Observer said that I'm helping out his channel by doing these videos, so I want to help the guy out. I'm helping people like you. Where is the camera lens? As soon as I figure that out. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the latest Real Music Observer Styx video. First of all, I'm going to explain to you, which I don't know that if I have it before, why I even waste my time on this kind of stuff. I don't think it's a waste of time. In all honesty, I will say to everyone that commented on the last video, that was great. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the conversation. There's a lot of people that are defenders or fans of the Real Music Observer. Hey, I respect that. You're more than welcome to be a defender of somebody's views that you believe in. We have some differences in terms of opinion and approach and things like that. I'll get to that in just a bit. But, you know, here at the end of the day, there's a guy with 7,79,000 or something followers. And as he likes to say, and I'm friends with Eric Clapton. Hey, that's cool, man. I dig it. Like, you have 78,500 more followers than I do. But listen, I got to 500 thanks to this particular video, this last one. And I appreciate that. I got 27 new subscribers. So listen, if the algorithm is benefiting you, it's benefiting me as well. And I'm okay with that. And I hope that you understand out there, you don't have to agree with me. Because opinions are opinions. Okay? Opinions are opinions. There are certain things that are facts that you can't change. You know, Styx. There were 5 guys that founded the band. You know, Panazzo Brothers, Dennis Young, James Young, JC, John Strulesky. That's a fact. What your opinion is of the current lineup, that's again, it's an opinion. So I tell you what originally set me off in terms of wanting to make these response videos is, I mean, it's twofold. Now, Real Music Observers, you know, doesn't have his comments on. So you aren't allowed to engage in any kind of dialogue. So if there's anything that he puts out that is either factually incorrect or unfair, you don't have the opportunity to respond unless you're going to pay for a Patreon subscription. Now, in my comments, people go, I don't think people should have Patreon subscriptions. As a guy who writes a newspaper article every week, who does many videos, other team album rankings with my friends, you know, things like that as a hobbyist. So I'm both a hobbyist and a freelance journalist. And here's the reality. There's not a lot of opportunities to make money in media. If the guy has a Patreon channel, Patreon page, and people are willing to donate whatever to it, hey, more power to you. If I could do it, I would do it too. If I had enough followers, I would absolutely have a Patreon page. I'd quit my job, my day job as a teacher, and I would make videos, okay? Now, with that comes a little bit of responsibility. You have, as a journalist, you have as a YouTuber, you have as a human being on this planet, you have a responsibility to be fair. Now, where I began to have my my problem with the Real Music Observer, because the reason I watched his channel is because I liked his content, but then he started talking about Lawrence Gowan as the Lollipop Guild, the Munchkin voice, and then in one of the more recent Styx videos, he talked about how JY and Chuck should be in a nursing home. Now, that's mean-spirited. I don't care who you are. You can defend the guy all you want. When you're making personal insults about people, it's not fair. I mean, for instance, me, I'm bald. I get picked on for being bald. I'm fat. I get picked on for being fat. I don't ever get picked on for having a Munchkin voice, although I bet you I could do, we are the Lollipop Guild. There, I do sing like a Munchkin. So if he wants to say that, that's fair. Hey, listen, Real Music Observer. Even in your response video, you don't accept ownership for the fact that you get personal in your insults with regard to the band and the Dennis and the current band situation. Dennis, Tommy, JY, whatever. Now, am I Team Dennis and am I Team Tommy? I will say it for a million times. I'll start with my Dennis credentials. 1981, I'm 14 years old. I'm at a sound check for Paradise Theater, and I'm standing there freaking out. And right after they play Rockin' the Paradise, Dennis DeYoung says, who are you? And I says, hey, I'm your biggest fan ever. I love you, man. You're Styx. You're the greatest band ever. And he goes, I think you're right, man. Well, listen, I'll come talk to you after. When I asked him for an autograph, he says, I'll talk to you after we do the second tune. So they do the second tune, too much time on my hands. Security comes to kick me out, right? They're there kicking me out. They got the arm on a 14-year-old because I had snuck in to catch the sound check. Dennis DeYoung stopped him and said, let him stay. Not only did he let me stay, the entire band autographed my book, the classic lineup from the Paradise Theater tour, and John Panazzo gave me a pair of drumsticks. And I've interviewed Dennis 3 times. Every time I've thanked him for that. Because Dennis was a class act. He's still a class act. I have nothing but respect for him. Nothing. There's not an ounce. I will never say a negative word about Dennis DeYoung. Now, Tommy Shaw and Styx, in the current Styx organization, every time that band has come to town, I've had an opportunity to interview a member, whether it's Todd Zuckerman, Lawrence Gowan. Tommy Shaw is the only one I haven't interviewed. And I think Tommy doesn't do interviews because he's sick of getting asked all these questions about Dennis. That's probably his fear. The Styx organization has always taken care of me. Always. Good people. Every one of that band that I've interviewed. Dennis I interviewed 3 times. JY I've interviewed 3 times. Lawrence Gowan 4 times. Ricky Phillips twice. Todd Zuckerman once. Chuck Panazzo twice. Okay? We talk about music. We talk about Styx. What a great band it is. What a great legacy that they have. There's none of this back and forth like, who did this, who did that. That's what we need to get past. The insults. Oh, Chuck and JY belong in a nursing home or whatever. Lawrence Gowan sounds like a munchkin. That's not helping things. That's not helping matters at all. If that's what you got to do to get views, to get Patreon things and whatever, more power to you, man. But at some point you got to live with yourself. Now, if you ever want to debate the Styx situation in terms of the Dennis and the Tommy and everything like that, which I think is pretty much a waste of time, because ultimately, as fans and everybody fan the flame, it makes the situation that much more difficult to resolve. Now, Ultimate Classic Rock is putting stuff up now, and everybody's going, because, it's exciting. It's great. It's a great story when 2 guys fight, Even when you and me, Real Music Observer, we disagree on something, even though you don't want to mention me by name, that's what it is. People like that stuff. Now, the difference is, I think you play the martyr, Mr. Real Music Observer, if you do watch this, because you say people send you stuff. Please send this to him. It's like, oh, poor me. I'm getting picked on. I don't know you from Adam. If you and I went out and we had a cup of coffee, because I don't know, I'd say a beer, but I don't know if you drink, and I don't judge you if you don't. We probably have a lot to talk about. We probably would. We like the same music. There's no question about that. We like the same music. But in terms of the Styx stuff, there is a huge separation. It needs to be, we need to all start moving towards, as fans, as people, getting past it and trying to figure out a way that we can create an atmosphere where it's easier for these guys to get past wherever the lawsuits and all this other hard feelings that they had 20, 30 years ago. Because honestly, I don't believe in my heart that there wasn't a time that these guys didn't all get along and didn't all love each other on some level. Okay, you don't make that kind of music and not have feelings for each other on a personal level in a good way. Okay, so whatever it is, man, everybody's older. Let's move on. Let's do what we got to do. Now, if you want to blame somebody for the current situation with Dennis DeYoung and Styx, Dennis DeYoung not being at Styx, here's my take, and I'll leave because we're at 8:40. Who even watches this far into the video? If you have, thank you. I appreciate it. And you know what? If you guys keep watching these videos, I'll keep making them. I don't have a problem with it. Real Music Observer, I'll debate you anytime on any issue regarding rock and roll. And if you want to give me an interview with Clapton, I'll come on here and just tell everybody how great you are. No, I'm not like that, but it would be cool to interview Clapton. Interviewing Clapton's pretty cool. I give you props for that. So the reality is this. Blame Neil Schon. Neil Schon. Because Neil Schon proved to the world that when you have a guy like Steve Perry, a huge part of the creative force of that band, who was responsible for so much great music, that there comes a point where there's enough music that they've created that you don't even need them anymore to sell tickets. You don't. And such is the case with Dennis DeYoung. At some point, Styx's management and Styx had to look at the situation and go, can we still sell tickets without Dennis DeYoung in the band? And if you listen to this great interview with Bob Lefsetz's Bob Lefsetz's podcast, I think he had something called The Letter. And you listen to that interview where Styx's manager talks about the discussion they had. You know, Charlie Brusco, he says, you guys, you want to tour without Dennis DeYoung? Well, if you're going to do it, you better be right, because there's no turning back. Once you tour without this guy, all bets are off. There's going to be hard feelings. There's going to be whatever. And the only way that they must have thought that they could do it is, well, twofold. Maybe at some point somebody said, hey, we toured without Tommy. We had Glenn Burtnick in the band for Edge of the Century. We still sold tickets. Well, can we get away without having Dennis DeYoung in the band? No? Wait a minute, what about Journey? Is Journey still selling tickets with Steve Algeri or whatever the heck his name is? Heck, Journey cycled through, I mean, I think I and the Real Music Observer are the only two people that weren't lead singers for Journey over the last 20 years before they found Arnell. They didn't miss a beat. People buy tickets to the shows. So what incentive do these bands have to get back together with their original lead singer if they're still selling tickets? So you can blame the promoters. You could certainly blame the structure of whatever contracts they had. Now, if you believe Dennis, which I don't have any reason not to, he tried to avoid this by having a contract structured in a way that all 5 members had to have a vote in terms of getting rid of a particular member. Somehow they got around that. They did it, but they're still selling tickets. Why are people going to see Foreigner without Lou Gramm? I don't know. I do know. It's the songs, man. People care about the songs. People care about the songs. So Styx, the songs that they sing by Dennis, that were written by Dennis DeYoung, that were originally sung by Dennis DeYoung, people care about those songs. They still care about Dennis, but they care about those songs more. That's kind of a testament to Dennis, like as in, hey, this dude was a creative force. He was an important part of the band and the band's legacy, and he gave them something. But you get to a point where the band just doesn't need any more songs. I was just talking with my friend the other day about like Grand Funk, well, it's just called Grand Funk, but they haven't had to put out a new song in how many years? They're still living off the old stuff. They don't need Mark Farner. They're still selling tickets. They're still playing the old songs. A lot of these bands do that. They get to this point. Is it right? No, it's not. I don't get it. But here's the thing. People that watch the Real Music Observer channel and the handful of people that watch this one, we're the ones that do care. And it is very personal to us. But to some degree, we have a responsibility too as fans to not take whatever we had from this particular band, all these guys that we loved, that were near and dear to our heart, and turn it into some family squabble. Okay? We can't pick sides on this one. The real side is this. The real music observation that I have is we love the music. We love Styx. We're passionate about it. You know what? Let's look at it from that standpoint. I understand that YouTube content that doesn't contain some kind of crap stirring or whatever is not good YouTube content. People don't watch it. If I got on here and I said, you know what? Puppies are nice. And I just said that over and over again, I'd probably have 3 views. But 3 views, say, better than no views. But hey, listen, if you want to subscribe to this channel, I'm be tickled. I never thought I'd get to 500. To me, that's a pretty big number. That's a big deal. This is kind of a part-time thing. I'm a journalist. I got some other stuff on here. Interviews, much more interesting. But you know what? You want me to talk about the Real Music Observer and Styx once a week? I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do what I have to do. I'll do what I have to do. And he said it. It helps him out. It helps him out. Helps me out. One hand washing the other. Look how clean my hands are. My tattooed wedding band. I love my wife. Thanks for listening. If you made it this far,